Recording in progress.
So welcome everyone. We are Monday, I believe it's the, is it the 5th of June today? I'm not quite sure now. 4th or 5th of June. Hope everybody's doing well. We're gonna have a lovely practice today for the hips. Now, if you have any issue in the hips and you feel that the positions that we're getting into is pushing it a little bit too far, please remember you can always back off the postures, okay? This is not about performance, it is about well-being. So we're gonna start with our typical breathing exercise and one exercise for the face. So sit into a nice comfortable position. The back is curved, the chest is lifted, the shoulders are opening to the sides, and you'll lengthen out your neck. Let's place our right hand onto the belly. So if I show with my camera, I'm doing it just below my rib cage. Here's my rib cage, and the hand is just below. Okay? So if you want to place your hand there, that would be great. Close your eyes and simply take some breaths, some deep, slow breaths. Now, when I talk about deep breaths, I don't mean big breaths, right? It shouldn't be an overwhelming breath. It should just go deep down into the lungs and then a release as you breathe out. Okay, so let's try that. Breathing nice, deep down into the bottom of the lungs and then a release. And this is part of the magic recipe of yoga, is that we combine not only movement, but there's the breath. There's also mindfulness, getting in touch with our bodies. There's the positioning and the working on some of the deeper postural muscles. And there's the relaxation at the end, which brings together a whole recipe of well-being. So not only do we work the nervous system, the cardiovascular system, the muscular system, the skeletal system, but it also has an effect on the endocrine system, the release of hormones. Good. Which helps to make all the other symptoms function optimally. We have 11 in all. So these kinds of exercises put all together into one is what helps us reap the benefit of a class. One more deep breath in and release. Let's open our eyes. Take your right thumb. This is actually my right hand. I'm mirroring you a little bit. If I were to raise this hand, it would seem like my right hand, but it's actually my left. So this is my right hand. Bring your right thumb over the right nostril and just close it off gently. Close your eyes again and take those deep breaths. So again, not big breaths, but deep. You want to go down towards the diaphragm. Keep going with those breaths. The left nostril is actually connected to the right brain. So breathing just out of one nostril in and out helps to stimulate the activity in the right brain. That's the creative side of the brain. All right, bring your hand down. Take a couple of breaths and just notice how your nostrils feel. This can also help clear the nostrils and the sinuses, this kind of exercise. Keep your mouth closed and let's do the other side. To do it, take your 2 middle fingers of your right hand and close off the left nostril. Close just gently. And what I like to do is go above the round part of the nostril, just where the cartilage is. You close off, close your eyes, and breathe in and out through the right nostril. Again, deep breaths without making them big breaths. The right nostril is connected to the left brain. So we're seeking to stimulate activity now in the left brain, which is much more the logical brain. The brain that works a lot with numbers, categorizing, making order. It's the side of the brain that helps us make sense of the world, actually. There isn't one side that's better than the other, and they should both work in a balanced, equal way. Wonderful. One more deep breath in and out, and bring the hand down. And just breathe in and out a few times and notice if there's a little bit of a clearing that goes on in the nostrils and the sinuses. Now, continuing with our right hand, we're going to bring the 2 middle fingers and the thumb this time. We'll go across the body, right hand goes across. You'll block off the left nostril. Breathe in through the right. Block off the right nostril and then breathe out through the left. Good. Breathe in through the left. Block off the left and breathe out through the right. Breathing in. Block off. Breathing out. And again, breathing in. Blocking off. Breathing out. Continue with this. This exercise has a few different names depending on which school of yoga you've been to. It can be called Nadi Shodhana or Anuloma Viloma. In English, it's simply called alternate breath. So you're using alternating nostrils to breathe in and out. At your next breath in, doesn't matter which nostril, bring the hand down and breathe out through both nostrils. Very good. Okay. Now this has calmed down the nervous system already. And we're also have a little bit more awareness of our breath. Throughout the class, I want you to breathe in and out naturally through the nose. Please avoid breathing out in and out through the mouth. It's shown that breathing in and out through the nose is going to take in more oxygen and you're going to work the diaphragm in a more functional way, okay? So now we're going to do a quick exercise for the face. I want you to take both hands and we're going to use the fingers, but the pads of the fingers all the way down to the palm. And you'll just place them by your cheeks. So the fingers will go above the cheekbone and then the pads of the fingers will go in the part just below the cheekbone, okay? And you're going to gently pull the skin back towards the ears and we'll make a kissing movement with the lips. And then you release everything. And again, We pull the skin back very gently and make a kissing. And release. 3 more times. Pull back gently, kissing. Release. 1 more time. Pull back gently, kissing. And release. Now, keeping the hands there, we'll just make little circles with the skin. And this helps to release some of the muscles of the jaw. It also is very stimulating for the skin and the muscles in the face. And let's change directions, little circles, just round and around. And you can also feel that it's pulling a little bit on the skin of the eyes, just underneath the eyes, which can also help to irrigate the skin there with lymph and blood. Now pull the hands away just straight off on both sides and notice how you're feeling in your face. It should feel very refreshing and quite nice, and feels like a little lift has happened. All right. Let's get onto our hands and knees on the mat. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we'll start with a cat and cow. You'll have the fingers spread as wide as 1 finger. The thumbs are spread perhaps away from the index, about 2 thumbs. Take a deep breath in, curl your spine and lift the chin, lifting the hips up, and sort of lift up the chest away from the hips. And now breathe out and round, look towards your belly button and tuck your hips under. Go ahead and go do a little stretch through the low back as well. Breathing in, curling, looking upwards and forwards, and breathing out, we'll round, looking under. And again, we'll breathe in, looking up, breathing out, looking under. 1 more time, we're going to breathe in, looking up, and breathing out, looking under. And back to a flat back. And step your hands 1 hand length in front of you. So now your hands are farther forward than your shoulders. And we'll take the bowstring position. So you will allow the hips to lift. You'll feel a stretch through the belly. You'll lift your chin and pull your chest away from the ground. So it's like you're pushing down through your hands, pulling the chest away. And you should feel already a nice little stretch through the belly and the side body, okay? It should not go into compression in the low back, but simply a nice little contraction in the low back. And we'll bounce backwards. So while you bounce backwards, press the tops of the toes down. So there's a springy action here. And it engages, pressing the tops of the toes down, engages the whole back leg up into the hips. You can go back and forth. Now we'll come back to a neutral position. And I want you to turn your head to the right and press your hips to the right, like you're going to look at your right hip. And come back to center, and then to the left. Press your hips to the left like you want to look at it, turn your head. Back to center, and you'll notice just how it feels in the neck as well. So the body works as one unit. Let's go back to center. When you move one part, it affects the other parts as well. Back to center, 1 more time each side. Hips to the right, head turns to the right. Back to center. And to the left. And back to center. Good job. Okay, from here, keeping the bowstring position, lift your right knee. You press the top of the right foot down as you lift the right knee and then set the right foot down. The knee points out to the side. Lift up the palm of the right hand and press your hips back. Here we go. We're just going to bounce back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep the palm of the right hand lifted as you stretch the right leg out to your right. Place the foot flat on the floor, and we'll bounce back again. 5. You'll feel the inner thigh and perhaps the back of the thigh. 4. 3. Keep your head lifted, chest lifted. 2. 1. Now bring the palm of the right hand down. You'll bend the right knee and we'll get into falcon position. Right ankle crossed over the left knee and we'll press back gently. 5. 4. So the right ankle's crossed over the left knee. 3. The hips are pressing back. 2. And 1. Good job. We'll uncross now. Place the knee back down. And we'll change sides. So you'll press down through the top of the left foot, lifting the left knee, and set the left foot down. Lift up the palm of the left hand, and we press the hips back. 5. And you feel that there's a stretch and a release as you do this. Okay? And this is getting those muscles primed for the practice. Now let's stretch the left leg out to the side, placing the foot down. Keep your left palm up. Press back again. 5. 4. This should feel really good. 3. Inner thigh stretching. 2. And you go as far as you feel. 1. Now we'll bring the palm back down. Bring the left knee forward. Cross the left ankle in front of the right knee. So it's just a sort of a crisscross position. And you'll press your hips back. 5. Keep the head lifted, chest lifting away. Go at your own pace. And you feel both hips. They should be opening up now. 1 more press back. And we'll uncross. Okay. Let's tuck our toes under and get ready. We're going to come into our crouching cat position. So the hips lift up and you should feel the thigh bones pressing back. Lift your head, pull your heart forward and get long at the waist. Okay, now we're going to bounce back towards the heels and forward. When you go back towards the heels, the knees go wide. So let's go 3 more times. That's it. 2, looking good. 1, now open your feet as wide as your mat. And we'll do it again, bouncing back. 5. Hips go way back, knees wide. 4, 3, 2. Now stay back. Walk your hands back. 1 hand at a time on the thighs. Lift your chest. Open wide the shoulders. Lift your chin. Find that bowspring position. Okay? Long belly, long waist, shoulders float. Head floats. And we'll just sink back nicely. Bring your right shoulder forward. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. Left shoulder comes forward. Look over your right. Back to center. Again, right shoulder forward. Look over the left. Back to center. Left shoulder. Back to center, 1 more time each side. Right shoulder, back to center, and left shoulder. Back to center. Here we go. We're going to lift the chest even more. Keep the knees bent. Keep your hips back. Raise your arms out in front of you. You can have the fingers stretched or you can curl them gently into seat hands as you feel more comfortable. And we're going to sink back down. You'll raise your arms more, and then you'll lift back up. It's like a squat. Here we go. Sink back deep. Coming back up. We're engaging those muscles, getting them ready. Keep lifting up through the spine. Lift your chin. 2 more times. Hips go back and up. Last one. All right. Come all the way up to standing. Step your feet in 1 at a time. Hands come to your heart center and step your feet forward. Nice big steps till you get to the front edge of your mat. Let's get ready to practice. We're going to raise the heart rate a little bit and we're going to get into the muscular position. For the moment, just feel what's going on in your legs, your hips, your low back. Everything that we just did doing the bowspring posture has kind of awoken the back body, so now it can work properly. So here, our knees are soft, our feet are hip width. The hips stay back, but you don't have to be in a full bowstring position. They just stay back so you remain curved at your low back. The chest and the ribs are lifted. Hands come to your heart center and you open your shoulders wide to the sides. Chin is lifted and the neck is curved. Here we go. Deep breath in. Let's rise up, stretching. As you breathe out, let's bring the hands to the heart center, elbows bend. You let your hips go back, back, back. Knees are bending deeply. Hands come to the floor. Take big steps back until you get into a plank position. In the plank position, feel that your hips are lifted, keeping the curved back. Knees are soft. Lift your chest forward and feel like you're pulling your hands towards your feet. Lower your knees down. Here's where we do the push-up. You can either have the feet down or up. I prefer the feet up because I'm off my kneecaps. Open your hands one at a time. Do one push-up just to prime the upper body. Now let's move all the way to the floor. Bring your hands back in, point your toes, press down through the toes, and lift up into a little cobra. Now bring your chest back down, push up onto the knees. We'll take the right hand off the mat, left hand on top, press the hips back. We're opening up the side body. Coming back up, left hand off the mat, right hand on top, press your hips back. Back up again, hands onto the mat, tucking the toes, rise to either a down dog with the knees bent, or you can step your feet forward for crouching cat, whichever feels best for you. Stay here, and we're gonna breathe 3 deep breaths, in and out. Feel yourself getting stronger. In and out. Breathing in and out through the nose. Remember this. One more time. Breathing in and out. Now begin taking small steps forward, lifting your hands when you get to the front edge of your mat. Bend your knees. Refine the curve in your back. So you gotta lift your glutes up. Hands to the thighs. Lift your chest. And here we are in that chair position. Raise your right arm, right thumb above the right ear. Left hand goes to the right thigh. Lean to your left. Coming back up. We change arms. Right hand goes to the left thigh, left hand above the left ear. Lean to your right. Coming back up. Raise both arms now to the sky. Reach, 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 reach. You're in a chair position. Then straighten your legs and hands come to your heart center. Here's where you refine your perfect posture. Knees are soft, hips are back to have the curved back. Lift through the chest, open your shoulders, chin parallel. Let's go again. Deep breath in, rise up. As you breathe out, you fold and you bend everything like a spring, sinking down, hands to the floor. Step your feet back, plank position. Holding for a moment, just check in. Low back curved, head lifted, pull your hands towards your feet, knees are soft. Lower your knees down, lift the feet if you wish, open your hands. Do 2 push-ups this time, down and up, down and up. All the way down, point your toes, press the tops of the feet down, hands in, rise to a small cobra. Bring your chest back down onto your knees. Hips back. This time left hand comes off the mat, right hand on top. Press the hips back. Lifting back up, right hand off the mat, left hand on top, pressing back. Lifting back up. Hands onto the mat, tuck your toes, either the down dog hybrid or you take crouching cat. Lifting the head, lift your chest forward, knees are bent in both positions. Hold it, 3, hips up, 2, 1. Begin stepping your feet forward. Once you're at the front edge, bend your knees low, hands to your thighs, lifting up to the chair. This time we start left hand over the left ear, right hand on the left thigh, lean over to your right, back up, change, lean to your left, back up, arms up to the sky, reach, 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 straightening the legs, hands to your heart center. We're going to go through that 2 more times. You're going to flow a little bit more. We're going to go a little bit faster. Getting ready, perfect posture, deep breath in, let's rise. Breathing out, fold all the way down. Step your feet back, plank position. Holding the plank, check in to make sure you're in a good position. Lift your head. Lower the knees, lift the feet, open the hands. This time, go for 3 push-ups. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. All the way down, pointing the toes. Rise up to cobra. Pushing back onto the knees. Right hand off the mat, left hand on top, press back. And we change, left hand, right hand on top, press back. Back to center. Take your down dog or crouching cat. Holding 3, 2, 1. Stepping forward. Knees bend, hands on the thighs, lifting up. Right hand over the right ear, lean to your left. Changing, left hand over the left ear, lean to your right. Back to center, coming to the chair. Reach, straightening the legs, palms together, and fold forward, right down again. Stepping back to a plank position. I'm going to come have a look. Yeah, good job. Okay, lower the knees down, open your hands, and get ready for those push-ups. Excellent, very good, everyone. Do as many push-ups as you wish. Beautiful. All right, move yourself all the way down, pointing the toes. Come up into a cobra. Yes, back down again. Push back onto the knees. This time, left hand off the mat, right hand on top. Stretch that side body. Yes, and change, other side. Good job. Yeah. Come back to center, get into crouching cat or down dog. Be sure the knees are slightly bent. That's awesome. Well done, Finola. Excellent, Richard. It's nice to be able to see you, your whole body. Good. All right, Jane, well done. Everybody look to your hands and stepping forward. Good, Christian. Excellent. Bend your knees low and take that chair position. Left hand over the left ear this time. And let's go, leaning over. And then back up and change. Right hand over the ear and stretch over. Beautiful, Claire. Coming back up. Reach, reach, reach your arms to the sky. Reach. Excellent, Gitel. Good, Luca. All the way up to standing. Good, Taina. And then hands come to your heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. All right. Just when you thought we were finished, now we're going to take it. We're going to step it up. We're going to take it a step further. So here we are at our perfect posture, hands at the heart center. We'll move through without the side bends, and we're going to add on some lunges. So knees soft, lift your chest. Let's reach up to the sky and fold forward. Now your right leg steps back. You can step back as far as you like. I don't go back very far because I'm protecting my hips. If you want to go farther back, you may, but we're going to have the knee bent. So you'll find your right position. Hands onto the front thigh, lifting up. Then you get your hands to your hips. Press your hips back. Bring your arms out in front of you. You can do seat hands if you wish, or stretch the arms. And here we go. We're going to sink down where we raise the arms and we lift back up. We lower the arms down. All right, so let's go for it. 5, hips go back towards the back heel. 4, pressing back. 3, get strong. 2, stay down low. Hands onto the elbows. We're going to twist to our left. Twist to the left. Hold it, stay low. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turning back forward. Hands come down to the floor. You'll step your right foot back and then your left for a plank position. We're going to hold the plank. Lift your chin. 5. Knees are soft. 4. If it's too much, lower the knees to the floor. 3, 2, 1. Now we'll lower the knees, lift the feet, open your hands, and get ready for your push-ups. 1, 2, or 3 push-ups. All the way down now. Point your toes, hands under the shoulders, cobra. Bring your chest down, lift up onto the knees, down dog or crouching cat. Now here you can decide. You can either do a little burglar hop, which takes you forward, and then step the rest of the way, or you step forward. Knees bend low, hands to the thighs, lifting up, hands to the heart center. Listen carefully. We'll raise our right foot. We've done this before. Lift and open the chest. We stretch the right leg forward. We rebend. We send it back without straightening the standing leg. Keep the knee bent. Lift your chest. Coming back up. Chair position. Raise your arms. All the way up to standing, palms together. And let's go. Flow forward. Woo! Step your left leg back. You've got that little lunge position. Decide how far you want to go back with the leg. Lifting up, arms out in front of you. Here we go. As we sink down, we lift the arms. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold down low. Grab a hold of the elbows. Feel like you're pulling the elbows apart. And actually, if you haven't, switch the elbows. So if you had your right hand on top of your left before, now left on top of right. Twist to your right. Let's go. Turn the upper body. Super work for the core. 5. Hips down, down, down. 4. Yes. 3. Looking good. 2. 1. Turn back forward. Hands come down. Step your left foot back, then the right for a plank position. Hold it, lifting the head. Knees soft, hips up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Lift the feet. Open the hands. 1 to 3 push-ups. All the way down. Point your toes. Rise up to that cobra. Feels so good. Chest comes back down. Push up and back. Downward facing dog or crouching cat. And again, decide whether you take a burglar hop or whether you just step forward. Knees bent, hands to the thighs, lift to the chair, hands to your heart center. Lift the chest away from the hips. Raise your left knee, staying strong. Now lean forward, lift the foot behind you, keep that standing leg bent. Lift the chest, and then back up. Set the foot back down, raise your arms up. Coming up to standing, palms together. We run through it 2 more times. Let's go. Fold forward. Step your right leg back. Hands to the front side to lift. Arms in front of you. Let's go. Down for 5. Back up. 4. Feel those thighs. 3. Feel the hips working. 2. 2. 1. Stay low. Hands on the elbows, pull them apart and turn to your left. 5, 4. This is actually also stretching out the psoas iliac muscle. 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, hands down, step back to the plank position. Everything strong. Lift your chest, lift your head. 4, 3. Knees are slightly bent. Hips up, 2, 1, knees come down, feet come up. Open the hands, 1 to 3 push-ups. All the way down, point the toes, cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Burglar hop or stepping forward. Knees bend, hands to the thighs, rising up to the chair. Hands to your heart center, raise your right knee. Lean forward, keep the chest lifted as much as possible. Bring it back, see if you can keep the position nice and stable. Right foot comes down, raise your arms up, reaching to the sky, palms together, fold forward. Left leg goes back, rising up to that little lunge. Arms in front of you, and let's go. 5, squatting down. 4, hips go back. 3, yes. 2, stay down low, hands onto the elbows, pull them apart. Switch the hands if you need to. Turn now to your right. Hold it here, hips back. 5. Good, good, good. 4, stay with it. 3, hang in there. 2, 1, come back, hands to the floor, step it back. Plank position, lift your head, knees soft, hips up. 5, 4, 3, oh, with the warmer months, we sweat earlier. 2, I'm already sweating a lot. Good, 1, knees down, feet up, open your hands. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, all the way down. Palms under shoulders, point your toes, rise to a little cobra, then to a down dog or a crouching cat. Look to your hands. You can take a burglar hop or you take those little steps forward. Hands to the thighs, lift up to the chair. Hands to the heart center, raise the left knee up. Hold it, hips are back, back is curved. Lift the leg behind you. Keep that standing leg nice and bent. Lift the foot up high, high, high. Then back up, knee in front. Foot comes down. Raise your arms up, reaching. And then all the way up to standing. And let go. Whew. Good job, everybody. Very good. Relax. You can shake out your legs if you need to. All right. Turn to face me on your mat so that you have lengthwise the mat. Okay? So we have nice space for our feet. Bring your hands to your hips and turn your toes outwards at perhaps a small angle, not completely out, but a small angle, one to the other. So if it were on a clock, it would be 10 minute, 2 o'clock, 10 to 2. Hands to your hips. Sink your hips back into a nice big open squat. Okay. Now, of course, our back is going to remain curved in this position. Be sure you do not tuck your hips under. They need to be back. From here, set your right hand onto the right, just above the right knee, and bring your fingers to the outside and your thumb to the center. Keep the right arm straight. We're going to bring the left arm into the ecstasy position, elbow forward. The thumb is just above the ear. And we'll lean to our right. You'll keep the shoulder up so that you can lengthen out both sides of the body. And we'll sink down and pulse here. 5, 4, good. 3, 2, 1. Now we'll bring the right elbow right down onto the right side, and the hips go way, way, way back, deep, 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 okay? Holding it here, 3, lengthen out the left-hand side, 2, and 1. We're gonna bring the left hand down to the floor, right hand down to the floor, fingertips down, and you'll sink down, knees go wide, keep working the hips, we pulse, 5,
4, keep the head lifted, looking down in front of the hands. 2, 1. Now turn both feet parallel and gently straighten your legs. The knees will stay soft, but they straighten out a lot more than compared to the squat. And we'll lower down, bending the elbows. See how far you can get, and you just relax here. Let your head drop, turn the head from side to side, making a little no if you wish. Now we're going to walk our hands towards the right foot, and you'll hold, your hands can be on the floor, fingertips down, knees soft and bent, and you'll hold this stretch down the back of the leg. You could grab a hold of the ankle if you wish, or keep the palms down. 3, 2, 1. All right, come back to center. We'll turn the toes back out to the sides, bend the knees, hands onto the thighs, and lift the chest. Back to the original position. Hips way back, curve your low back. Everybody got that? Lift and open the chest. Fingers to the outside of the left thigh, thumb to the inside. Keep the arm straight, let the shoulder lift. Right hand over the right ear, and we go over to the side. It's okay if the ear goes towards the shoulder, that's fine. Sink your hips back, and we pulse here, sinking back. 5, 4, 3, 2, that's great. 1, stay here. We're going to slide the elbow down, sinking the hips back even more, and pulse again. Deep, deep, deep. 5, that's it. 4, looking good, everyone. 3, ay, ay, ay. 2, 1, bring the hand down, opposite hand as well. Now we're going to stay here, lift and open the chest, sinking down deep. 5, 4, we're almost there. 3, you should feel the glutes mounting. 2, 1. Now we're going to turn both feet parallel, toes forward. Hold here for a moment, press the hips up and back. And then we'll walk the hands over to the opposite foot. You can have your fingertips down, palms up. You can have your palms down, or you could grab a hold of the ankle, whichever is best. And just let yourself drop down. All right, walk the hands back to center. And you can make a little no with your head, release any kind of tension in the neck. Then we'll turn the heels back in, hands onto the thighs, lift the chest, and we come back to the original position. Okay? Now, press down through your hands and lift, come all the way to standing. Hands onto your hips and make a nice big circle. Releasing any tension that may have built up in the low back. Just let go. Change the direction. And then we'll do a little massage. I want you to take the tissues at the back and you're gonna pull them around to the front. Richard, we did this in the live class in the park 2 weeks ago. So what you're actually doing is you're taking with your thumbs, you're taking the tissues just above the hips and you're gonna pull it around to the front. Do that 5 times. From the side, it looks like this. Pull the tissues of the body around to the front. Should feel super good. 2 more times. Pull around towards the belly button. Last one. Round towards the belly button. Good. And release. We'll step the feet in a little closer. I want you to turn the right foot out. Okay, so now I'm mirroring you properly. Right foot turns out a little bit. And the left foot, we're going to step it behind us into what's called a curtsy squat. So you bring the left foot behind like you're making a curtsy. Hands onto the hips for the moment. The heel, the back heel is lifted like this. Okay, yeah, that's it. The toes turn out a little bit. This is actually called zigzag posture. And the knees turn out. This is super good for working the hips. So we're gonna squat down, and then I want you to raise your left leg up like a little kick. So we squat down, and then we raise. We cross the leg behind us. This is working also a lot of balance. Squat down and raise. Now we're gonna raise the arms in a V position. You squat down and you raise. Squatting down and raise. Beautiful, very good. I see you, Claire, it's awesome. 2 more times. Squatting, kick and raise. Last one, squat, hips back, kick and raise. Good, bring the feet down, hands to the hips, bend your knees and let your hips rock from side to side. Good job. We'll bring our right foot now behind, toes on the floor, the heel is up. The left foot points a little bit out, so the knees point in a V position. They point out to the sides like they're pointing in a V, okay? We'll start with the hands on the hips. We squat down, hips go back, and then we'll kick. Good, let the foot go when you kick. Squat down and just let it go. That's it. One more time, just letting go. Whew. Now the arms in a V position. Up and kick. Here we go. Up and kick. Sink your hips back. Good. Kick. 3 more. Down. Kick. 2 more. Hold on to it. Hips go back. Last one. Good job. Feet hip width. Hands to your hips and just let them rock from side to side. Beautiful, everyone. Very nice. Now we get to do my favorite position. Lift your right foot, place it on top of the left thigh. Bend the knees and let the hips go back. You should feel a nice stretching, but a power in the hips going back. Lift your chest away from your hips. Raise the arms, palms together, thumbs together on top of the head. Lift and open the chest, infinity pose. Lift your eyes if you wish. Get curve in the low back, getting strong in the back body. And we'll release. Changing sides. Left foot on top of the right thigh. Bend the right knee. Palms together, crown of the head. Sink the hips back. Lift the chest away from the hips. Lift your eyes. Breathing and holding. We release. Well done, everyone. Step to the front edge of your mat. Hands together. Take a deep breath in. Rise up. And we'll fold forward. Deep fold. Step back to a plank position. From the plank, lower your knees first, then your chest, then your chin. Release the feet, hands under the forehead, and move your hips from side to side. Just letting go of the hips, low back, and this gives a little massage into the quadriceps, into the thigh muscles. You should feel pretty good. Good job. Okay. You could lift your head if you wish, or keep it down on your hands. Open your feet as wide as your hips. This is a Pilates move, and it is a super good exercise for the hips. I want you to be aware of the low back, however. If your low back starts to get tired, bring your legs back down. So we're gonna lift both legs and see if you can get, especially the part just above the knees, off the floor. The legs are straight, toes are pointed. You're gonna bring the heels together, touch them, and then apart, hip width. Together and apart, together and apart. And now see if you can go fast. Together and apart, together and apart. Keep the chest pulling away from the hips. If you start to feel too much the low back, you can stop. If you're feeling good here, go even faster. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs back down. Then lift your feet up and let your feet rock from side to side. Let go of the hips. letting go of the low back and the legs. Good job. Keeping your knees bent, flex your feet and touch the heels together. Bring your arms out to the sides, elbows bent, so we're in parachute position. Lift the head, chest, shoulders, and arms, and lift the legs as high as possible. See if you can peel up the very tops of the knees off the floor. Holding, if it's too much for the low back, you come down. 3, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift and open the chest. 2, and 1. Hands come down, knees come down, push up onto the hands and knees, and let yourself come into child's pose. Just relaxing and letting go. We don't often do this position anymore. And sometimes just getting into it is like, oh, such a relief. Nice rounding of the low back. Deep breaths. Lift the head looking forward. Come up onto your hands and knees. And let's crawl forward. Right knee, left hand. Left knee, right hand. Right knee, left. And then let's crawl back. I know this is a bit strange, but remember we did those exercises, the breathing exercise that stimulated the right and left brain? Well, this is also stimulating the right and left brain. Walking forward, head is lifted. This can feel quite neat. And then walking back. Do right hand, left knee, left hand, right knee. Good. And then we'll walk forward once again, just crawling forward. And once you're at the front edge of your mat, swing your feet to one side, come to a seated position, and we're going to get onto our backs. Grabbing behind the thighs, roll down onto your back. Arms on the floor, reach your hands towards your feet and walk your feet away from you. Heels down, toes up. Lengthen out your neck, open up the chest. And here we go, hamstring bridge. Lift your hips up. Use the hamstrings. Pull the heels towards your glutes. Engaging the hamstrings sometimes is such a remedy for the low back, for the hips, and for the knees. You don't have to do it for a long time. It's just a short engagement. And come on back down. Walk your feet in now towards the hips, elbows pressing into the floor. Again, the neck is long, chest is lifted away from the hips. Raise your hips up at a level that feels good for you. The bowstring style keeps the hips back, big curve in the low back. The yoga style pushes the hips up as high as possible. Or you can also go into full bridge with the hands to either side of the head, and you come all the way up into full bridge. Choose whichever one you want. The goal is to open up the front body, to lengthen out the belly as well, and to be able to take deep, slow breaths here. One more deep breath in. Raise your arms over your head and lower the back down one vertebra at a time. Very, very slowly. And once you're all the way down on the floor, lift your knees up to the chest and grab a hold. Just get yourself into a deep stretch for the low back and the upper back. And you can rock from side to side. Now in the hip sequence, we did some deep stretches of the hamstrings. So we don't actually need to stretch the hamstrings now. We've already stretched them out. So let's cross our right leg over the left. Now I suggest not pushing the knee out to the side because that creates a rotation in the hip that may not be very healthy. So let's keep the knee in. So it's almost like cross-legged position, but there's space between both legs. Grab a hold and pull them in towards the chest. Lengthening out the neck at the same time. From here, bring the left foot onto the floor, keeping the right leg crossed over. We're gonna let the knees fall over to the right, so it's an open twist. Both arms stretch wide. You can turn your head to the left if it's comfortable. Let the right ankle fall off the left knee. Lift your left knee first, right knee follows. And we'll change sides. Crossing the legs, lift them. Both knees go towards the shoulders or chest. Grab behind and pull them in. This is a nice, safe stretch for the hips. Bring the right foot down to the floor and allow your knees to fall to your left. So the left thigh goes down and we turn our head to the right, arms spread wide, palms facing the sky. We also get a benefit from the stretch of the pectoral muscles after all of those push-ups. Let your left ankle fall off the right thigh. Raise your right knee first, left knee follows. Taking happy baby pose, lift your feet, open the legs, grab around the ankles or the bottoms of the feet, inside or outside, whichever is more comfortable for you. And you can gently rock from side to side. Coming back to center, really pull the knees down gently towards the shoulders to give an extra stretch of the hips. And then we bring our legs together. Place your right foot on the edge of the mat and slide it down until you find your leg straightens out. Now your left foot, edge of the mat, slide it down, leg straightens. Allow your toes to fall open. Turn your palms to the sky. Open the chest and find a really comfortable position where you can stay for the next few minutes. And begin breathing again deeply into the lungs. Not necessarily big breaths, just deep breaths.
And as you relax here, see if you can imagine your feet breathing. Imagine your legs breathing. Your hips and low back breathing. Your shoulders, upper back, and chest. The arms and the hands. The neck, the throat, the jaw, all of the tiny muscles in the face. Feel as if your whole body is breathing. From your head all the way down to the toes. Breath not only nourishes us with oxygen, but it also massages different parts of the body that we didn't even imagine. Breathing in and out through the nose, massage and vibrate sinuses, throat, the ganglion underneath the jaw, tonsils, the expansion and contraction also moves the heart, different arteries and veins. The movement of the diaphragm massages the internal organs, vital organs, as well as the vagus nerve, which initiates the relaxation response or the rest and digest response. The breath does much more than just bringing oxygen to the tissues. Take another deep, slow breath in and breathe out. And begin moving your fingers and your toes. Begin moving your hands, your feet, coming back, becoming aware of your body and your surroundings. And when you're ready, raise your arms up over your head and stretch from fingers to toes. Good. And bring your knees into your chest. Squeeze them against the chest. Rock a bit from side to side. Right arm to the right ear. And roll all the way to your right hand side. Setting your hands down onto the floor, push down to lift from the side, coming to a seated position. Good. Let's rub our hands together, raising the energy in the hands. Bring your hands over your face and gently tap around the eyes. Shaking your hands out. And do that one more time. Good job. Hands at your heart center. Have an absolutely amazing day, everyone. Thanks for joining me in the practice. Well done. Bravo.